If I suck, you can't hear it. Just want to let you know.
Yeah, no, it it doesn't matter if you totally stink. That makes like good TV, doesn't it?
You got a point, I guess.
You know. So
Yeah.
anyway, welcome to my the first show of my new talk show.
What's it? What is
That
it? What do we call it? How about Heart to Heart with Joe Hart?
I was thinking of that, but I don't know. That's like cheesy. Carol wants to do that.
It's a little cheesy, but I get it. I remember that show Heart to Heart years ago. Remember that? They were like a
Yes, of
husband and wife
course,
detective team.
of
And
course.
my nickname for it, and I don't know if this is something that we want to air, but my nickname for the show was he burps, she farts. I don't know why. It's because I'm immature, and I would say things like that. Hey, you want to watch he burps, she farts? Anyway, anyway, I thought it was funny. Apparently, I still do.
Apparently, yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so anyway, I don't know. I don't have a name for it yet.
That's okay.
I keep coming up with names, and it's like, I mean, you run a business, and you come up with this awesome name, and then you Google it, and you find that it's like used by like 17 different companies in like
Right.
11 different countries. It's like, oh, come on.
Right? No, it's funny because well, the school band gig, there's no other music school calling themselves that I've found. The one
Yeah,
thing you do come up with is you get like places that that are booking agencies. And it's not
that,
that that's their name, it's just that the word band and the word gig show up in their profile. So
right.
it should they show up.
Yep.
And I got the name. The name for me happened because I gave lessons to this guy Eric Jones many years ago, and when
Yeah.
I needed to have a name for the program, he said, "Why don't you call it Giggin?"
Yeah.
Which I kind of liked.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I don't know, and I fussed with it, and I came up with the band gig thing, and just ran with it. It seemed a little funny, a little bit of an odd name, but it seems to
Yeah.
stick. So I'm running
Yeah.
with it, right?
Yeah. Whatever.
I'm a
You know,
fan.
it's been highly successful, so you're doing something right.
So far, so good. I have friends that make me face masks.
There you go. There you go. And I keep seeing Xfinity vans go by, and like one out of every 300 is band gig going
Right?
by.
And they copied my whole thing.
Right. Big white van with the red lettering and everything.
Turned sideways, right?
Yes, exactly.
Those guys. They
Those
couldn't come,
guys.
they couldn't come up with an original thing.
Yes. But anyway, so I definitely want to do like a shout out. I have like a YouTube channel, of
Yeah,
course.
of course.
Everybody does. If you're a musician, you have to, right?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
and there's this guy, Leo, in Germany that like is fervently watching every single video I upload.
That's unbelievable. Think about it. What are the odds? Like the world is
Right.
awesome that you can do that. Some guy
Right.
named Leo. Hey Leo.
So definitely like, hey Leo, what's up? Make sure that you comment. He does like comments with like all the little emojis and stuff.
That's fantastic.
It's awesome. But anyway, I spent like 3 weeks in Germany. Carol and I went there on our honeymoon.
Really?
Yeah.
And well, obviously that was quite a while ago. What made you pick Germany, and where in Germany did you go?
We stayed in a little town called Worms. It's spelled worms,
I was going
Worms.
to say like worms with a V, but they pronounce it with a V.
Right,
Worms.
right. Um, and and we went over there because my brother was stationed over there and had a place.
Cool.
So why not? And then while we were over there, we made a side trip on our honeymoon to go to Paris, of course.
You'd have to.
Right? I
Oh,
mean, that's like the city of love or something.
yeah, absolutely.
You know why we went to Paris?
Why?
To go see Ronnie James Dio play.
Dude, you're the best. You,
On
yeah,
our honeymoon, we
nobody
went
else.
to We
Nobody
went
wants to
to
get
the
away with
most
that.
romantic city in the world on our honeymoon to see Dio.
To see Dio. Awesome. That's fantastic. And your
Yes,
wife, and that's true love right there. From your
yes,
wife's end,
exactly.
it's totally true love.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you do a ton of traveling.
As much as I can. I love to travel.
Yeah.
When I got that first time I ever traveled out of the country, I was in high school. I did like a trip to Mallorca, Spain, with some kids. I went to Severian, and one of my close friends in school, his cousin went to um, it was what was the name? It was an all girls Catholic school over in like Quincy or something. I'll think of it.
Ursuline?
No, it wasn't Ursuline. I'll think of it. But they were gonna do a trip to Mallorca, Spain, but didn't have enough people.
Hmm.
So my buddy's cousin said something to his mom or something or other, and so she said, "Well, what if we can get you some other people to go?" They
Yeah.
said, "How many do you need?" And they said, "Oh, we need 9 people." So my friend asked me if I would go, and my mom was nice enough to help me out with the finances and let me go. So I ended up going on this trip to Mallorca, Spain with it was me, Joe, this other guy that I don't know. Oh, Archbishop Williams
Oh,
was,
okay. Yeah, yeah.
and I went with me, Joe, this other guy whose name I don't remember, and like 6 girls, and I had a blast. I had so
You know
much
that
fun.
that that sounds like the setup for a teen romp movie from the
It was
80s.
it was fantastic. So I had a I had a blast, and after that I always kind of had that bug. And then I oddly enough my first wife, um, Christine, grew up in Spain, not in Mallorca, but in Marbella. And we were together for like 14 years, and every year we would make a trip to Europe, and we would travel, and then we would work our way to visit where her mom lived. So I would
Yeah.
go to one destination, and then we'd like take the Eurail. We do get Eurail passes and do the whole thing, and stay in hostels and work our way down to Spain where her mom was. And as a result of that, I got to go to like I crossed over to Morocco. I just did some really cool stuff, and then I continued that with my current wife Julie. We've done a fair amount of traveling too. We've been to Europe several times, and a couple years ago we went to Turkey and Greece. Uh, you know,
Yeah.
I've done a lot. I've been really fortunate in that sense. Like, I'm not sure exactly how many countries, but a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
Cool.
fortunate. Again,
So,
I'm sure I do. I've done more than most, and I'm super grateful for that.
yeah. So what's the best place? What's one of the coolest places that you've been?
Oh wow. I mean, there's cool in the sense that it's really slick and very European and she. So then you would go to like bigger cities like Paris or Rome or somewhere like that, and then there's those other really quaint things like the French countryside or going to someplace really cool like Bruges. Or you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, those kind of places. Prague is beautiful. And then there's the things that are cool because they're just so completely different to our life. When you go to a place like, um, when you go to Turkey, when you go to Morocco, like it's amazing that is on the same planet as us.
Yeah.
I look out my window here in Dedham, and I see a parking lot in a Staples, and then
Right.
you're in like Morocco, and there's mosques and like the architecture's insane, and it's just like nothing you've ever seen. And then I had the fortunate experience of going to Egypt and seeing that, which was more like Morocco than anything else because of the architecture and the Arab influence, and that is like super cool for a different reason,
Yeah.
Yeah, out of control, you know.
Yeah. Cool.
Love it.
And
Yeah,
I know that you went to Turkey.
yeah, that was awesome. Again, very similar in a sense, more similar to going to like Morocco because of that Arab influence and because you're walking down the street and then in the middle of the day, all of a sudden the every mosque in the city starts to pray on a loudspeaker
Really?
in the middle of the day out of nowhere. And you don't, I mean, for someone like us, that's just completely crazy. I'm looking at my phone right now because I'm going to try to pull up a I'm going to try to pull up a video of that so you can hear it. It's the
Okay.
craziest it's the craziest sounding thing ever. I hope I have it in here somewhere.
Okay. And
Anyway,
you know Istanbul was Constantinople, right?
I do, and there's a groovy song that goes along with that.
Now it's
Dun,
Istanbul,
dun,
not
dun, dun, dun,
Constantinople.
dun, 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 right? Isn't that the song? Dun,
Yes,
dun, dun,
and
dun,
if you've a
dun,
date in Constantinople, she'll be waiting in Istanbul.
That's awesome. My God, I gotta find this because you
Yes.
really are gonna crack up if you get to hear it. It's the craziest sound ever. You'll be walking down the street just kind of, talking, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, and it's all around you. You hear a speaker, and it's loud, sort of click on, and then you
Mhm.
start to hear the praying, and then you hear from another direction, you hear a speaker click on, and there's more of it, and it goes and it goes and it goes, and it's just an amazing, amazing thing. God, I hope I have it here. I'm gonna be so mad at myself if I do not. Hang on, this might be it. Hang on, I think I might have it.
This is making for riveting viewing, I'm sure.
I apologize. Oh, this might not be it. I'm gonna be so mad if it's not. I think I have it somewhere else. Oh,
You have a
no.
lot of stuff on that phone, don't you?
Okay.
Uh,
Hear it?
yeah.
Now listen, it's gonna get real loud all of a sudden. You hear that? Okay, so that was another mosque.
Yeah.
So I'm walking down the street, and this just kicks on in the middle of the day. You're like, what? Hear other ones in the background,
Yeah.
all over the city.
Did you know it was going to happen?
Well, no, I mean, I knew because I knew that it existed, but you never know what it's going to happen unless you're watching the watch and you're religious and you're
Right.
part of their religion. Then you would know that at 5 o'clock it's going to kick on. But it kicks on around town at different times, and it's actually in every mosque. It's a live guy. It's not a recording. It's a
Wow.
live guy in the microphone saying those prayers.
Doing the stuff. Yeah.
And it's so you're walking. Imagine you're walking through Norwood Center, and you know how in Norwood Center there's two churches on either
Right.
side, like near the town hall.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The Catholic Church, and then I think like it's an Orthodox or
Yeah, right.
something.
So imagine it
Right.
every day at 5 o'clock, the prayer would kick on, and it was on loudspeakers from the top of the thing, broadcasting over the town. And so they would go on at 5, and then these guys would go on at 5, but
Yeah.
there'd be a slight delay from one to the next, and then they'd kick on, and then some other church on the other side of Norwood Center would kick on, and
Yeah.
then another church up the street from that. So then they were going on like all around you. That's what it's like in Istanbul, and it's
Wow.
like that. It's also like that in Morocco.
Wow.
So it does the same thing because of the religion, right? So
Yeah.
this is a really crazy memory of being in Morocco. Um, I'm probably in my mid 20s, and we go there, and I'm as you know, I love to eat and I love to cook,
Yeah.
and so I'm always looking to try stuff, and I don't know what I ate, but the second I ate, it was lamb or something. The second I ate it, and I remember thinking, "Oof, that didn't taste right." That's all I thought, and then I forgot all about it. And then, like within an hour and a half, man, I am so sick. I have a fever. I'm freezing. I'm shaking. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna die in Morocco. No. And then I'm in my like this little room that we rented, and it was a dump in like this back alley. And I'm there. I am. I'm laying there, and it's like 103 degrees. And I'm shivering and sweating all at the same time. And I'm laying there and I'm like, oh man, I'm going to die in Morocco. And then this place is like right near a mosque. And all of a sudden it kicks in. Oh, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die. And yeah, that's what happened to me.
Wow.
And I
Okay.
just toughed it out, man. It took me hours, and I finally like got through it. I drank a lot of water, and the next day I felt a little better. But man, was that horrifying!
Wow.
and
So
that,
so.
go
Oh, go
ahead.
ahead.
No,
No, go
the
ahead.
the prayer thing made it even more scary. Like it was a horror movie, and I was gonna die.
Oh man. Okay. That makes up for the minute or two looking through the phone.
Thank you, thank you. What's the minute or two? Was that at all like informative? Did you get the idea?
Yeah. Yeah. That was
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So yeah, because that kind of does really explain it. It's what it's like, and it is loud, like
Yeah.
loud. And
So what's the weirdest thing that you've ever eaten?
whew, uh, I have to say that I don't think I've ever eaten anything crazy weird, but my wife has. My wife is very adventurous, and she
Yeah.
once ate. It was some kind of big fish eyeball, and you had to
Ew.
like, push the retina through to get rid of it because it was hard and crunchy, and then you ate the rest of it. Yeah, it was pretty gross. I was like, "Yeah, you can eat that, man. I'm not in." She was doing it to prove a point or something or other.
Yeah.
Julie's pretty wacky like that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I can't think of anything. I mean, I've eaten tripe. Uh,
Yeah.
and in most cases, my mom used to make it, and it stunk, and I hated it.
Yeah.
And then I had it only once and only once have I ever had it that I liked it, and it was in Spain. It was really good. It was just cooked the right way. It was a lot of garlic, and it was
Yeah.
a little bit. It wasn't as mushy and rubbery. Other than that, I'm not a big tripe fan. Julie likes tripe.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of it. Tripe. What else have I eaten? I've eaten livers and things like that, and
Yeah.
hearts and lungs.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
entrails. And if they cook them right, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
They all taste like liver.
Yes. Yeah. Cool. And so not only do you like to eat, but you like to cook and things.
Oh, I love to cook. It's my favorite.
Cook and show.
Yeah, I try to
Still
do.
waiting for the networks to pick that up.
Someday I'll be
What's
a
the
big star.
problem?
And in the meantime, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. And I love doing that cooking show. That is a fun hobby. And I get to
Yeah.
combine all my favorite things, which is clearly music. I've made my whole life in that industry, in the teaching part of it. And I get to perform periodically. But on that show, it's my baby. And I get to pick the song. And I get to play with my friends, which, you've been part of that, which I
Yeah.
always love. Thank you. Um, you know, that to me is like the perfect combination of all the things that I enjoy.
Yeah.
So I get to cook for my friends, which I do anyway. This all kind of started because um, I was going to in fact, I was going to make a paella for some friends,
Yeah.
and they came over for the dinner, and we were talking, and this friend of mine, Lisa, that I've known for many years, said, you should do a cooking show. It would be a lot of fun. We could film this. And, it's always kind of a party atmosphere in my house when that happens.
Yeah.
And um,
It's like a party atmosphere in your house all the time.
it really is. I live in a bar, as I say. I'm not kidding. And my buddy Paul Rochford,
Mhm.
who's been my friend for a long time, his previous career was he worked for ESPN. He did the scheduling and so forth for the camera guys and getting everything here and there, but he was well versed in how to use all that equipment and owns a lot of that equipment.
Yeah.
So I said, "Hey, would you mind coming up and filming me doing this?" And he loves to come over anyway because he likes to, cook and drink and hang out with me. So he was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it." And we did one, and he enjoyed it so much, I loved it, that he was like, "Hey, anytime you want to do it, I'm in." And we kept doing them, and they kept getting better, which I guess that's the natural progression of things. If you care at all about something, you're always going to try to look at it objectively and come up with like a way to improve it.
Right.
And the last shows, which we did, pre-COVID, were excellent. We're really starting to find a good rhythm with it. Um, and then the music part of it, like I said, I get to pick a song, and my sister-in-law Nancy always sings with me
Yeah.
because she just is a great background vocalist. She's a great vocalist, but she makes my vocal sound great because she always sings like the right thing
Hmm.
as a background vocalist for my lead vocal. And it's so fun to have that, and then whoever else I bring on, my friends, musicians, we just learn the tune,
Yeah.
show up and rehearse it once, and off we go. Usually the players are good players, so you don't need 100 rehearsals to get it right.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, yeah. So, I've always been like very envious because you can sing as well as play guitar. So you can just like do your own thing. I just play guitar, so like nobody wants to hear just guitar. Like that's boring, you know.
Well,
So,
not really, but yeah, I get your point. It's
you know,
nice to
so
add.
so if you had to choose one, would it be singing or playing guitar? If you
Wow,
only could do one.
wow, that's an interesting question, Joe. I've never ever in my life thought about that.
That's why I'm here.
Really interesting question. Um, I never, I never took voice lessons.
Hmm.
I shouldn't say never. I took like three or four back in the late '80s, and the only reason that I didn't continue doing it was um, I just couldn't get into the whole like the exercising part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
A
yeah.
and B at the time I was like I really couldn't afford to take them, so I just
Hmm.
didn't. I had already gone through Berkeley, and I did. I was done. I was playing guitar and singing, and I thought, well, my voice isn't that bad. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. And I, I don't know. I get a real thrill out of singing something and singing it well. Gosh, I God, that's a tough one, man. It really is because I do get a lot of joy out of both. I
Hmm.
get a tremendous amount of joy out of doing both of them well together,
Yeah.
or what I think is doing it well. Wow,
Okay, so you can't decide.
wow! I got to tell you, I've never thought about it. I guess my gut reaction would be that I'd play the guitar, but um, I've never had one without the other, so I think like I would feel something missing
Hmm.
because and I'll be the first to admit I'm a good guitar player and I can function in most scenarios, but I would never say that I'm a virtuoso guitarist. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm not that guy. I'm a rock blues. I like to play tunes because I can sing along with myself. So yeah, that's a tough one, man.
Okay.
I guess I would have to double down on my guitar playing. If I were to just say, oh, I'm only going to play guitar from now on, I really would feel that it would put a lot of pressure on me to practice a lot because I would feel like, okay, I got to step that up. Where I could always sort of sing along with myself and entertain someone. I'm naturally kind of built to entertain, I think. I mean, I'm not, not going to say that I'm a great entertainer, but I'm okay at it. Like I'm comfortable in my skin.
Yeah.
Boy, I guess I'd have to say I would just play the guitar.
Really?
I don't know. That's really hard. No,
Okay.
I don't know. I can't answer that. I guess if I had to, I would just be a singer because then I could find people to play for me. That's a tough one. Wow, what a question. I never thought about that my whole life. I'll think
Okay.
about it a lot
So
more now.
so would you choose singer or would you choose guitarist or would you cheese out and say you have to have both?
I'm gonna cheese out.
Okay. Okay. I have a follow-up question.
I have no respect for you whatsoever. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Who is your favorite singing guitarist or guitaring singer? So not like singer like like Robert Plant, because
No,
although
I
he
get it.
can play guitar, he doesn't.
Right. No, no, I got you. Um, wow, that's a good one too. My goodness. You know, there's a lot of guys that I really like. I'm going to say John Mayer, and I'm
Really.
not going to say it because I feel I emulate him on any level. But that
Mhm.
guy is pure musical genius. He's an amazing guitarist,
Yeah.
and he's a great singer. So I'm going to give it to him because every time I hear the guy, I'm always like,
Yeah.
I'm in awe. You know, and yeah, I'd go with him. He's great.
Okay. Uh, I think I would go with Leslie West,
Mountain.
singing, playing guitar.
Now I only know him from like whatever his popular tunes were. I don't
Mississippi
know any.
Queen.
I don't. Yeah, there you go. I don't know any other side stuff that I could say. Oh yeah, he's that was beautiful or whatever. Like I don't know enough
Yeah.
of his music to comment.
Yeah.
Has he
That's
got
what
a
I.
lot of other good? Does he ever do like solo acoustic vocal stuff or anything
No.
like that? No. Okay.
No. Just loud guitar and loud vocals.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right.
You know.
I'll
And
buy it.
and possibly, and I was thinking like Pete Townsend,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
you know,
Got that.
but for me, Leslie West is a much better guitarist
Right.
and maybe a better singer. I don't know. That's tough. Pete Townsend is definitely a much better songwriter. One of my favorites.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
You know, but just as singing and guitarist, I think I'd go with Leslie West.
Right on. I bet you that I bet you Leslie West and I would make a really fun duo because we're both big guys. You know, I'd be
I think
like,
he's.
I'll rival
I
you.
think he's bigger than you,
I'll
though.
rival you, Mister Mountain.
Yes.
You know, years ago, Joe, I when I first started teaching guitar lessons back in
Could
the
you both wear diapers and get in the ring with the salt and everything, the
I
sumo wrestling?
would do it. I used to teach with this guy in Dedham at the Daddies in Dedham, and his name was Jim Doran. I don't know whatever happened to him. I really liked Jim, but we would joke around about the two of us were kind of big guys, and we would joke around with our clients, and we'd say our commercial joke was, "We might not be the best guitar teachers around, but we're the biggest." That was always our mantra. It was very funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, good stuff.
yeah. I miss Daddies. That was fun.
I did too. It was a great gig for me, and I enjoyed the people that worked there and all that. I'm still friendly with a bunch of them, and I'm really happy with the way things went. Thankfully, that I was able to make the band gig thing happen and keep
Right.
it all going. But yeah, I enjoyed working with those folks. They were always good to me.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. But okay. Well, anyway, I think we've chatted enough.
Okay, I don't. Yeah,
You
whatever.
know, I know we could keep going and going.
No, we absolutely could. You have great questions. I tell you, that question about the vocals and guitar thing, that'll have me thinking for a while. I don't know if I could ever come. I think I would always have to cheese out and say both. But, because I've always done both. I've never not been in a band where I wasn't a singer
Yep.
and guitarist. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, really quick before we leave,
All right.
just to sort of like kind of put a bow in this thing. Favorite singer and favorite guitarist. Go.
Whew, favorite guitarist.
Like, okay, so you know what? It's impossible to really say favorite. Let's say, like, what pops into your head is one of your favorites.
I like Steve Tyler from Aerosmith. Always wished I could sing like him.
Yeah.
Um, and for favorite guitarists, I guess I really like those guys that play. I was a big Skynyrd fan as a kid, and
Yeah.
I really loved the guys that played in Leonard Skinner. And I'm not sure which guy it was, whether it was Steve Gaines Gary Rosington or Alan Collins. I think it was
Yeah.
Steve Gaines. Whoever the guy was that played the lead stuff on I Know a Little. Like
Yeah.
that kind of boogie woogie, speedy but clean and articulate guitar playing. So I liked those guys for that reason.
Yep. Uh, it was the dude that played a Strat a lot. I know Collins almost always played that big like Firebird guitar.
Yeah, right. And the other guy, Gary Rosington, I think always played a Les Paul or
Right.
something thicker, heavier. I think it was the other guy, skinny dude, and he died. He was one of the guys that died in the crash.
Yeah.
I think it was him. But I
Yeah.
like so yeah, I really like those guys. They were good. And you know what? Yeah, I have to pick one, so I'll go with him. But there's
Okay.
so many things that I grew up with that I loved. Like I loved the Eagles. Oh, there you go, vocalists. Holy crap. Those guys were
Yeah.
amazing, and I loved all that stuff. It
Yeah.
touches my heart to listen to it and to sing along and play it.
Yeah. Don Felder's amazing guitar player.
Oh my God, right? And just
Yeah.
and the vocalists in that band too. I mean,
Right.
every guy in the band could sing, but whoever was singing lead vocal at the time was always amazing.
Right.
You know, all of them. Yeah, so good.
Yep.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Yes.
This
Okay.
is
Well,
fun,
anyway.
though. I'll do this anytime you want.
Well, we'll see if we get like enough YouTube likes or whatever.
I'm totally,
know.
dude. I'm totally in.
Maybe they'll do maybe we'll do a part 2.
All right, I'm in. Anytime you want.
Okay, cool.
All right,
Well, thank you so much.
no worries. Peace out, buddy. I'll talk to you
See
later.
ya.
Bye.